Fame doesn't wait for childhood to finish before it starts demanding performance. Zendaya entered the entertainment world at an age when most children are still discovering their identity without judgment. The camera found her early and never truly stepped back. Discipline replaced playtime. Schedules replaced spontaneity. Applause arrived before emotional protection could fully form. The world watched her grow before she could grow privately. Every smile became a performance. Every mistake became a lesson visible to millions. The pressure to mature arrived faster than the space to emotionally understand growth. Identity formed under observation rather than freedom. Childhood slowly transformed into responsibility instead of memory. When perfection becomes your identity, imperfection feels unforgivable. Zendaya was quickly labeled as flawless, graceful, and ideal long before she could explore imperfection safely. The industry celebrated her poise but quietly demanded that she never break character. Expectations wrapped tightly around her image. Every appearance became a test of consistency. Growth had to be controlled instead of being organic. The mask of perfection slowly became heavier than the praise itself. Doubt had little room to breathe. Vulnerability felt dangerous under such spotless standards. The freedom to fail was quietly taken away. Mistakes never felt small when perfection had already been promised. Breaking out of comfort zones often invites resistance before respect. Zendaya's transition from light entertainment into emotionally intense roles challenged the image the world first accepted. The industry welcomed her success, but hesitated before allowing her depth. Risk was admired in theory, but questioned in practice. Every bold role choice was dissected before it was celebrated. Reinvention demanded courage far greater than stability ever did. She had to repeatedly prove that talent lived beyond her early image. Growth came with pressure rather than freedom. Creative evolution arrived through resistance instead of support. Each step into seriousness required validation twice over. Strength in public often hides battles that never make headlines. Zendaya carried the pressure of visibility with controlled calm while emotional strain remained private. The world saw composure, not conflict. Anxiety hid behind preparation. Fatigue hid behind precision. The demand to remain balanced never paused. Rest felt undeserved. Vulnerability felt risky. The responsibility to represent strength grew larger than the space to admit struggle. Emotional discipline became survival rather than choice. Healing had to happen quietly while expectations stayed loud. Inner balance required constant maintenance beneath polished perfection. Success can lift you high enough to make normal life feel distant. Zendaya reached a level of recognition where every movement carried consequence. Trust became selective. Privacy became protection. Ordinary mistakes felt amplified. Friendship required caution. Emotional safety demanded boundaries. The crowd celebrated loudly while the inner world stayed guarded. The balance between global identity and personal self grew harder to maintain. The pressure to inspire never paused for rest. Remaining human inside a powerful image required deliberate effort. The higher she climbed, the more carefully she had to protect who she truly was. Stardom didn't knock at his door slowly. It stormed in with overwhelming force. Salman Khan entered the industry with early recognition that grew faster than emotional grounding. Success arrived wrapped in massive attention before discipline could settle deeply. Applause became routine while reflection remained rare. The spotlight followed him constantly, even in moments meant for privacy. Fame didn't offer space to grow gently, it demanded dominance quickly. Public love arrived powerful and intense. Expectations became a permanent weight. His name stopped being just a name and turned into an institution. Strength became identity before softness could ever feel safe. The world celebrated his rise loudly, often louder than it understood the man beneath it. When the public turns you into a symbol, your personal mistakes feel unforgivable. Salman's image evolved beyond that of a movie star into a mass phenomenon. The audience didn't just admire him, it emotionally depended on him. His success created loyalty that behaved like belief. With that power came relentless scrutiny. Every action became magnified. Every controversy carried national attention. The line between hero and human blurred quietly. Expectations stopped being realistic and started being absolute. Vulnerability felt dangerous inside such unquestioned authority. Being larger than life meant being allowed less room to be ordinary. When millions surround you emotionally, silence becomes your closest companion. Salman lived inside deafening fame that rarely allowed emotional quiet. Trust became selective. Relationships became complicated under constant public interpretation. The personal world struggled to survive inside non-stop attention. Even stillness felt watched. Loneliness found space inside crowded success. Private reflection became difficult under constant judgment. Emotional connections carried pressure. The louder the crowd grew, the narrower personal freedom felt. Popularity created an echo instead of comfort. The inner world learned how to stay guarded beneath overwhelming noise. When intensity becomes your strength, it also becomes your conflict. Salman's presence carried unmatched dominance on screen and off it. Authority followed him naturally, but so did resistance. Control became a survival tool rather than a preference. Passion often crossed into confrontation. Power demanded constant defense. Anger traveled faster than explanation. The industry adjusted itself around his force rather than challenging it. Discipline and chaos walked closely together. Strength protected him while also isolating him. Balance became difficult when intensity became identity. When your career is built on force and dominance, time becomes the quiet opponent. Salman now stands at a stage where legacy competes with endurance. The audience that worshipped his youth now watches his aging with expectation. Physical power still defines his image, but time whispers limits. Relevance must now be protected with strategy instead of momentum. The pressure to remain invincible never truly fades. Adaptation becomes survival. Reinvention becomes a necessity. The fight shifts from conquering others to preserving oneself. Legacy slowly replaces rebellion as the new battlefield.